For more Game Gumbo, I've got my guests here, Monique and Naveen from Before You Play, and we're talking spicy hot games. And one of those games is a game. Here's why I wanted to talk about it. I followed Ryan Courtney's page on Pipeline. I do oil and gas work down here in the South, and so I'm following the page. Then when I saw the end result, it was a little bit different than what I was thinking of. But this game looks really interesting. Curious Cargo from Capstone Games. You guys have played it, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, give us an elevator pitch. What is it all about? And there's two of y'all on the screen, so
we're over here.
Yeah. Everything is frozen.
Yeah, it's a 2-player only. Mm-hmm. So it is. If you played Pipeline before, you'll recognize the pipe tiles because it makes use of the similar pipe system. Except the difference is this is a 30-minute experience. It's a 2-player only game where you're pushing cargo back and forth, and you're trying to meet. I believe there are like 2 or 3 ending game objectives, and you're trying to beat the person out, before they beat you.
Right.
And it's interesting because you are both shipping and receiving cargo. So as soon as the opposing player ships cargo to you, you are trying to receive it as well.
Exactly. So there's kind of this circular pickup and delivery kind of thing going on. So my cargo ships out. If Monique can build up a network of receiving pipes, then she can also score points via the reception of these different cargo.
Yes, and if you notice that the pipe tiles only have 2 colors on them, and that's because they are really hard to make work. Like that is the game, I would say. A big part of the game is obviously trying to configure the trucks, because there are trucks that you have to put out in order to pick up and deliver this cargo. But the real hard part is configuring those pipes. And they're not technically pipes. I think they're technically conveyor belts.
Yeah, I think so.
But they don't ever work out the way that you want them to. Like you want the conveyor belt to go this way, and it's going to go this way.
Right.
So in this game, that's different from Pipeline, is you can actually overbuild on those tiles. So you have to have an eye for that sort of thing, like being able to reroute your pipes.
When you say overbuild, you're hanging off the edges?
So you actually have, technically you can hang off the edge because you have these, I forgot what they're called now.
They're called,
you have these square tiles to begin with that you can kind of put under the hanging over part of it. It's a scaffold, But yeah, you literally put a pipe tile and you put it over a pre-existing one, making whatever it's covering null and void.
You know how in most games, the rule is, okay, if it's a 2-piece tile, then one has to be showing. This one you can literally block out and just completely cover up. It doesn't have to be, like one of these kind of situations.
Yeah, so, you're constantly rerouting your routes. Yeah, that's the hard part.
Dean says he loves Pipeline. Dean from Mapletown. I really want to play Curious Cargo. Yeah, Dean, I'm the same way. I wanted to play Pipeline, and then I saw the playtime and I saw the complexity. And I don't mind complex games. Hopefully, we'll talk about some of those tonight. But this kind of drills down some of the fun aspects of Pipeline.
Yeah, it takes a big part of Pipeline and makes it into its own separate game. Yeah. It's nice because it's such a short, intense experience. You are engaged the whole time, and you're trying to figure out a way to get there before your opponent does. But it's very different because Pipeline is an economic game. And it's all about how much can I spend to get most, bang for my buck?
You're min-maxing in Pipeline a lot.
Yeah, you're constantly trying to find out how can I make money. And in this game, you're not doing that at all. There's no currency.
That's right up Philip Millman's alley. So I'd love to hear if he's played Pipeline or not. Verla, are you familiar with Pipeline?
I've seen pictures of it, but I have not played it.
I followed the development on Facebook from the start. Ryan had a little Facebook page as he was developing it. And man, this guy has some unique parts to his design. Really, really thinky in terms of those tiles. But the tile aspect and the economic aspect together seems like a brain melt. So maybe this Curious Cargo might be the better version for me.
Pipeline is really hard. It's really hard. And he, we've been speaking to Ryan Courtney about what he's working on, and he's actually coming out with an expansion for Pipeline that makes it even harder. And it's coming out in December-ish. So if there's anybody out there who wants Pipeline to be harder, your pitch is going to be granted.
Super brain melt. And that is Curious Cargo from Capstone Games. Playtime, you said about 30
minutes. It really is quick. If everybody knows, or if both players know how to play.
Yeah, and the rule set is actually pretty simple.
It's not a complicated game. It's just hard to figure out, I guess, initially. And for people who kind of play it over and over again, who are looking for variability, it does come with, if you flip over the conveyor belt tiles, there are 3 colors on the opposite side, so you can make a harder game in the future. So this is a game that can stick around for a while.
Verla, what do you think?
I gotta check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And that's from Capstone Games. Curious Cargo coming out. It's already out?
I think that it's releasing very soon.
They did a pre-order, and I think it's now they're fulfilling those orders.
Yeah, I think they're fulfilling in next month, I would say.
Okay.